Okay guys, this is part 2 to welding for my my brother's awesome Harley. We're sorry about the noise in the background. I got the TIG welder up and running. So we're set at about 50 amps. We're welding 304 stainless today. I just hit this real quick with a little tack. Trying to manage the gap here. You can see a little bit of a gap going on. So, and on the other side, on the back side of this tube, underneath, I also did a little tack. So 50 amps. We're using 100% argon gas, 7 LPM for this weld. Up there, LPM, liters per minute. Works out pretty good. I keep it right around there. Like I said, I'm on 50 amps. This is a TIG welder for those that are interested in knowing. Let me get the torch down here so you can see my stick out. Sorry, it's in the shadow there. That little piece right there sticking out, that's the stick out right there. Sorry, it's upside down, but you can see that's ER308L. That's the type of stick I'm using, or a welding rod. Pretty thin stuff. So we're going to be back out on that a little bit so you can see what we got going on here. There are the header pipes. One of them's right there, and the other one's right there. So they split right there, right? One goes that way to one cylinder, so exhaust manifold, if you will. And this goes to the other one, the O2 sensor. The reason why we're doing this hole in the first place is we cut out the catalytic converter. Okay, we cut that tube out, and we're just replacing it with this one. Clear tube, right? One of the challenges when you're welding an open tube like this is managing your heat. This already had a weld bead on it, so this material here was much thicker than this is 16 gauge material, so it's kind of thin. Whereas on this bead, you know, I don't know exactly what the thickness is, but it's definitely thicker than the 16 gauge. Back over here we're about 16 gauge, but on the where the beads are, substantially thicker, right? So I'll put my torch on the previous bead, get it heated up really good, and then just test every once in a while, just as this begins to pull up on this side and begins to get molten. Now I'll test over here with a little bit of heat just to see how it responds and kind of blend it in. So if you're new to welding, your thickest material is going to require most of your time. The thin material is going to require less time, and you're going to have to manage that and figure that out as you go along. The other thing with open tubes like this is on the inside, it's really tough to manage what's called sugaring. So I didn't get much sugaring, very little at all, because I had the gap really tight. But normally, what you would do is you'd close off the open end over here, and you would close off the other ends, and maybe feed in some argon gas through an opening like that, so that the entire tube inside would have argon gas. And this way you would prevent any sugaring on the bottom side. I didn't do that in this case because I did check and it looks like the sugaring is minimal, so I think we're going to be okay here. Okay, now I have it finished up the tack welding. I got the crossover tube tacked on there too. So you'll see 1 tack, 2 tack, and there's 2 more underneath. I got 1, 2 there, 1 underneath for 3, and I got 1 more to do right here. There it is right there. I like to mark my welds with a marker, because once you put your mask on, your welding mask on, helmet, and throw the shield down, you know, that stands out, right? Then we'll do the soft fit. Pretty cool. Looking good.